Hello everyone, and welcome back to Kutikatas, a podcast where we bring you enchanting stories from Hindu culture, Indian folklore, and timeless parables filled with magic, adventure, and life lessons. Are you ready for today's tale? Let's begin! Before we begin today's tale, let's start off with 3 Oms. Take a deep breath in, and when you exhale, say Om for as long as you can. Onam Special, Vamana. We have the next in our series, the Dashavatara. Can you say them with me? Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, Narasimha, Vamana, Parshurama, Rama, Krishna, Buddha, and Kalki. Each of these forms teaches us something special, that God exists in all creatures, big or small, and will always come to protect Dharma and his devotees. This Friday, we're going to celebrate one of the happiest festivals from Kerala, Onam. You might have heard of this day of celebration, but do you know the magical story behind Onam? It's about Lord Vishnu's Vamana Avatara, his form as a tiny Brahmin boy who taught a very big lesson. Let's dive in. Long, long ago, there was a king of the Daityas named Mahabali. You may remember him from our story about Rakhi with goddess Lakshmi. But unlike many demons you've heard of, Mahabali was different. He was strong, yes, but also righteous, truthful, and deeply devoted to Lord Vishnu. So just imagine, under his rule, there was no disease, no hunger, no drought, no evil anywhere in the 3 worlds. People were happy, prosperous, and safe. Everyone loved their king. But the Devas, the gods of heavens, began to worry. If Mahabali became too powerful, perhaps no one would remember them anymore. So, in desperation, they went to Lord Vishnu. "Please, O Vishnu," they begged, "do something about King Bali. You always save us when we are in trouble." But Vishnu replied, "Bali is righteous and devoted to me. I cannot fight him as I would a wicked king, yet I will find another way." And so, Lord Vishnu was born as the son of Aditi, the mother of the gods. But not as a mighty warrior. Instead, he came as a tiny dwarf Brahmin boy, carrying a little umbrella. This was the Vamana Avatara. Meanwhile, King Mahabali was preparing for a grand Ashwamedha Yagna, a sacrifice to show his strength and generosity. Sages, priests, and people from everywhere came to witness it. His guru, the wise Shukracharya, was the chief priest. Among the crowd walked a small dwarf boy with bright eyes. It was Vamana. Shukracharya looked closely and grew suspicious. Whispering to Mahabali, he said, "My king, that boy is no ordinary child. He is Lord Vishnu in disguise. He has come to test you. Be very careful and do not grant him anything without asking me first." But Mahabali shook his head and smiled. "How fortunate am I that Lord Vishnu himself has come to my yagna. What is there to think about? I will give him whatever he asks." As Brahmins came to King Bali, one by one to ask for alms, slowly Vamana came to the front of the line. Mahabali approached the dwarf politely. "Tell me, little Brahmin, what do you desire?" Vamana replied in a soft voice, "Great king, I ask for nothing more than the amount of land that I can cover in 3 of my steps." Everyone laughed. What a tiny request. Mahabali himself chuckled and said, "So be it. I grant you your wish." But no sooner had the words been spoken than the dwarf began to grow. He grew taller and taller until his head touched the skies. His form stretched across the heavens. The mighty Lord Vishnu stood before them in his cosmic form. With his first step, he covered the entire earth. With his second step, he covered all the heavens. Then Lord Vishnu thundered, "Where shall I place my third step, O king?" The entire court trembled. There was no space left in the entire universe. But Mahabali bowed his head humbly and smiled. "My lord, place your foot upon me." And with that, Lord Vishnu placed his third step on Mahabali's head, pushing him gently down into the netherworld. But Mahabali's devotion and generosity touched Lord Vishnu's heart. He blessed him, saying, "You shall not be forgotten, O noble king. Once every year, you may return to visit your people, and they will welcome you with joy." And that, dear friends, is why people in Kerala celebrate Onam. They believe King Mahabali returns each year to see if his people are still happy and prosperous. To welcome him, homes are decorated with pookalam, flower carpets. Families cook a grand feast called Onam Sadhya, and the whole state bursts into celebration with songs, dances, and boat races. It is a festival of joy, unity, and remembrance of a king who ruled with love. Did you know there are temples dedicated to this story? The most famous one is the Vamana Murti temple in Trikakara, Kerala. The word Trikakara means the holy place of the footstep, because it is believed to be where Lord Vamana placed his foot on King Mahabali's head. To this day, it is a central place for Onam celebrations. So, what is the moral of this story? The story of Vamana teaches us that pride, even in good people, can sometimes blind us, but with humility, generosity, and devotion, we earn eternal love and respect. And it teaches us to not judge a book by its cover. Although Vamana seemed like his ask was small, it ended up being so much more than anyone realized. Onam reminds us to celebrate together, share what we have, and welcome everyone with open hearts, just as Mahabali once did. Happy Onam! May your homes be filled with joy, flowers, and sweet memories, just like the story of King Mahabali and Lord Vamana. As always, keep learning and keep smiling. Hari Sharanam.